Meeting is being recorded. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Armand Vakili. This handsome devil in front of you is Deji Bankole. And this is the Money Now show where we talk about news and events around money, business, finance, technology that have to do with the now, preferably, obviously. And yeah, man, you want to take it away? Did you send me your links
Take it
already?
away. You already did it. I'll send you my things.
Send me the things.
But if you want to start.
Bonjour, bonjour, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Can you give me the share screen? Oh, I have the share screen ability. Okay, cool. What's up? All right, so here we go. Do you see this this weird little 4,000 electric car?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you see on your screen?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So there's a company named Hozon or Hozon. I guess I don't exactly know how to pronounce it, but it's competing specifically in China against Tesla. And they developed a $4,000 electric car, which is this magnificent thing that you guys see on the screen.
Yeah.
And it's not much of a looker, obviously, and it's not very large, but it's the conversion to Chinese currency, I believe, is 60,000 yuans, which just goes to approximately, I think, like $8,000 to $10,000. And they're really, really trying to compete with Tesla. And so when these guys started, which it was actually not necessarily, 28,000 yuan, excuse me. So 28,000 yuan is what the price tag of this thing was or is. And it's like the base model, and it goes up to 38,000. So between $4,000 to $5,000 is what the actual price for this thing is. And they're doing this mainly because they want to kind of like take Tesla out of the game, really. And the cheapest
And this is only
Tesla
in
that's
China.
available, huh?
This is only in China, though, right?
Yeah, it's only in China. And this company is kind of like paved the way for a few other companies to start their own little cheap electric cars. And I feel like it's not that far away from becoming available in the US. So Tesla and NIO were the first two companies that ended up doing a lot of electric vehicles out in the States. And then there's a company called, I don't know if it's Xpeng or Xpeng. I don't exactly know how you pronounce that. But Hozon was the one that kind of paved the way. And then, interestingly enough, Berkshire Hathaway, which is Warren Buffett's company, started their own little cheap electric car as well. And it's called the Hong Guang Mini. And this is what that looks like. The Hong Guang Mini is very similar. It looks very similar to the Hozon car. And then
So you said that Berkshire Hathaway.
Mini. Yes, what? Sorry, tell
So
me.
you
Go.
said Berkshire Hathaway is created another car. This car.
Yeah, Berkshire Hathaway backed this company. So
Oh.
Wuling, and then it's called Hong Guang Mini. And again, this is also only just available in China, but they blew past Tesla. So they sold in in April of 2021. They sold 26,000 units. And then when you look at Tesla's units, they moved only 6,200 units in the same period of time. So they almost quadrupled what Tesla has done in the same period of, actually, I think they did, no, almost quadruple. It's like just under quadrupling that number.
Did they make the same amount of money?
No, because well, maybe. So do we get a calculator on the screen real quick? Can you do it on your phone real quick?
Yeah.
What's 26,000 times 4,000?
You said 26,000?
Yeah, 26,592
Mm-hmm.
times the price tag for that is, actually, no, this one is at 89.50. So I think they did make more money than Tesla. So 8,950.
That's 237 mil, almost 238 million.
So 238, and then just multiply 30,000 by 6,264.
Is that how much the Teslas cost? I mean,
Like, yeah,
6,000.
I mean, no. It's 6,264 models
Right.
sold, priced at $30,000.
But they're not all $30,000 though, right?
No, that's their base model though. It's like the cheapest model that they have starts
So
at
you said, wait, so
uh,
there was 6,260. How many?
6,264.
6,264 times 30,000.
Yeah, 30,000.
It's 187. But I mean, okay. I mean, well, I feel like Tesla has like a range of different kind of cars. You know, some of them are closer to 100,000 more. Um, so if they sold like a few of those, then they'd be, I don't know. It just like I feel like there may be a range, but anyways, it doesn't matter. Like the amount of units sold,
Sure.
so the amount of people driving around in those cars is a lot more than the amount of people driving around in Teslas.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's the volume honestly is pretty staggering. And the fact that they're a much younger company than Tesla. And for people who work in China and earn their income from China, it's
Mhm.
much more difficult to earn the type of income to be able to afford. And it's like we're talking about like their mass population. You're not talking about the entrepreneurs of China.
Mhm.
And China itself is, I believe, still a communist country. So it's not like there's a lot of opportunity available for people to be making crazy businesses or crazy money through their businesses. So these are people who are barely making their day-to-day living that need some kind of a good electric car, cheap electric car. And that's what this target market is. And you look at the units sold, and it's not even close. So Mini attempted, so this is a GM backed company, obviously. So the Mini Cooper, now there's an electric version of it that's just under 30,000, but the miles for this thing is insane. It's like stupid. It's not even worth it, in my opinion. 114 miles per full charge, which is like ridiculous. For the same price range that the Model 3 starts at, and that one has 250 miles. So it's the only other notable vehicle that I would say that they're trying to compete with. But these are like the Mini EV, the Mini Cooper EV, and the Model 3 are the cheapest that are available in America.
Mm.
And there still hasn't been any company that's even come close to competing with these guys.
You're talking
And
about for
this
like
is
range and stuff like that too, right?
the range as well as the price. Just the price isn't. I mean, imagine getting a $4,000 electric vehicle. I'd buy one of those tomorrow. Like, even though it's not. I mean, it doesn't look. It looks as big as the smart car, like the Mercedes-Benz smart car. It doesn't look like a gigantic car, but you're talking about a $4,000 electric vehicle, so it's not that bad of a deal, I think.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think this is very, very interesting. I'm actually going to be kind of Google alerting these guys just so I can see what news comes up with this company. And if anything even remotely close happens in the US, I will be one of the first buyers because I think it's really great. And it's designed to be traffic friendly because it's like such a small car. So you could maneuver pretty easily, you could park it pretty easily, and for a country that's as populated as China, they need something like this. So when you live in a city like LA or New York, it will probably be beneficial for us as well. So it would be cool as hell if they actually started distributing these things in America.
Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. It's. I mean, obviously like smaller cars for sure. Um, is it definitely helps out in like parking situations, especially in LA when there's not a lot of parking
Yeah.
and stuff like that too. But yeah, totally. I mean,
Yeah.
especially in China, because China is there's a lot of people in China. So
There's literally a couple of billion people in China. Let me see. So I'm gonna do you want me to open up the NPR one first?
yeah, that's good.
All right. So we're gonna open up the NPR. Let me see. Where is it at? Why isn't it opening? Okay, wonderful. And then we're gonna open up this other one next. And then we're gonna open up the last one. And let's arrange them accordingly. Okay, perfect. Cool. All right. So let us share the screen one more time and go into Mr. Deji's piece of news. All right. Take it away.
So so deep fakes, you know what those are? Deep fakes are
It's like face replacement, right? Like you put your face on something else.
yeah, or you put someone else's face on something and it makes it look like they are saying those things or doing those things.
Okay.
So one of the things I think is kind of interesting is that when I first heard about deepfakes, which was a couple years ago, like one of the big things that was like that people were talking about were the fact that like in the future there can be a lot of like manipulation in terms of like you like having a lot of like misinformation and like because you can just like
Yeah.
create someone's face like the president giving a nuclear like all right we're bombing I don't know Ukraine or
Yeah.
something I don't know I'm saying like and then like sending that to the president of Ukraine and then like so like doing things like that but I think it's really interesting is that Facebook is sort of like developing a way to detect these deep fakes and
So this is a fake video right here of Tom
yeah
Cruise?
yeah play it.
Dude, what?
Okay, TikTok. Impression time.
Oh my
This is a
God.
5-second impression of a snapping turtle coming out of the shell.
Bro.
Mess up my hair.
This is a fake video?
Yeah.
Okay, TikTok.
Holy
This is a 5-second.
cow. Bro, that's identical. That's insane. That is insane.
So I mean, if somebody sent that video to you, and
Yeah.
and they was saying like you're like and in the video he was saying Armand, I want you to come to this one place, because and you're like, whoa, I'm I've been watching your Money Now show, and I want to like I want to meet you, and then they come and they kidnap you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's I mean, yeah, this is kind of terrifying. Like when you realize that this is actually not Tom Cruise, okay, there was literally one part of it that his hair kind of like got displaced that you can potentially notice that maybe it was like an edit or something, but it's perfect otherwise. And this is like the Barack Obama thing that you're mentioning, that if Barack Obama goes or President Biden says something
Yeah.
and they take it as if it's President Biden saying it,
Mm-hmm.
and then they act on it
Yeah.
before they verify or before that shit is crazy.
Right.
This is a little bit yeah.
So with this article, what they're saying is that Facebook is developing a way to Facebook is developing a way to recognize when it's a deep fake, and there is between like small imperfections, they're able to figure out sort of like having it like creates like a digital footprint or like a digital thumbprint of that like video, and then they're able to find out where it came from.
So reverse engineering generative models from a single deepfake image. So this is the AI, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this is their AI or something like that. But you know, deepfakes have been around for like a minute.
Yeah, well, so that's the link that opened up when I clicked on this, where it says researchers say that they've developed artificial intelligence that can identify so-called deepfakes and track their origin by using reverse engineering. And this is actually from Facebook AI. So this is their website and their article.
Yeah.
And
So if like, you know, if they're using it, you know, because I think a lot of time, like, you know, people using Facebook's platform to have like, you know, some within the election, around the election, to like sort of sway people one way or another, like by using like misinformation. They're trying to now combat some of that stuff too by being able to recognize when things are not real, you know. And so if people
yeah,
are using deepfakes in order to like, you know, either sway an election or something like that, or, you know, makes people appear to be in favor of a particular group or not in favor, or, you know, like just misinformation really, um, that they're able to like see that and then obviously reverse engineer it and see where it came from, like the origin of where it came from. So I thought that was really interesting because in the future, when I first heard about deepfakes, one of the concerns was that people would be able to do this in the future. But it's I'm glad that like people are able, like at least companies are looking at this and putting a and then putting um you know, they're looking at this and trying to create, you know, systems to sort of combat this for the future. So
yeah, and it's actually, I think it's like a good branding thing. I don't think they're doing it for branding specifically, but I think this is a good brand development for Facebook because so many people are always complaining about Facebook with their privacy and all these things, and they're actually developing something that is, I think, very important, dude, because this is this is jaw-dropping how good this is. It's like, yeah, it's a little bit, yeah. Anyways,
yeah, I saw a video of somebody doing a deep fake like a while ago, like I don't know, like last maybe like a year or 2 years ago, something like that. And it was like these it's like YouTubers that were doing a deep fake, and they were doing. There's this guy who like does a pretty good impersonation of Tom Cruise, and this may be who this person is, but
yeah,
they so the voice, like their voice is like Tom Cruise's,
yeah,
but they're when they were doing it last time, uh, it was a little bit. It's a little bit different than this one. This one looks more realistic than the other one. But I know another thing to think about is that if this is the kind of technology that we can use. I don't know. I don't want to keep going back to this, but we can use this stuff in VR to show your actual face. So using a deepfake for your own avatar of your own face, so your face always looks, you know,
sure,
the way, or you can use someone else's face or whatever, right?
sure,
And you know, you looking at this video, you're like, wow. I mean, the lighting is really nice. You know, he's got obviously got some front lighting on him. If you're the more you look at it, obviously you can see some
yeah, yeah, yeah,
cracks or whatever. But you know, if you're looking at it for the first time, I mean, you're not. That's not what you're looking at, really. You know. But in any case, yeah. So if you're to create like a movie without an actor, and that actor licenses their likeness to you, you can use that actor with someone else's playing them, right? And
yeah.
then I don't know.
You just buy their likeness
Yeah.
instead of actually having to pay them to come on set. You pay somebody
Mhm.
else. You put their face on the guy, and I'm pretty sure, like, the actor, whoever this person is that's doing this, they probably have some kind of a resemblance or like a facial structure that looks like Tom Cruise a little bit, so that it makes this as great as it is. Because if your face structure isn't chiseled or doesn't look like the original face of the person, maybe it doesn't work as well as it does. And then,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially like if you wouldn't have told me, I wouldn't have thought that this was deep fake video. But then now that I know, and then after having watched it probably a few dozen times now, you kind of start noticing some subtleties
Sure.
that you're like, oh, this looks like this. It's not necessarily the, exact person. So,
Right. Yeah.
but I mean, it's pretty scary. It's pretty scary. Whew, holy moly.
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah. Moving on from Tom Cruise's face. Okay. All right. Okay. Amazon has a new series of robots for their warehouse. And they have some similar or familiar names. So you have Bert and Ernie. I don't know if you've heard of these names before. And you have Scooter
I heard
and
these names
Kermit.
before.
Yeah.
Never heard of them.
Yeah. So for people who have no idea who these characters are, right? So Bert and Ernie are from Sesame Street. So is Kermit. Is Scooter a Sesame Street character?
Yeah, Scooter's a dog.
So all of them are Sesame Street characters.
Mm-hmm.
And so Ernie delivers totes to employees that actually have the product in them. Bert carries items across the warehouse. And right now it can't do very many heavy items, but it can do relatively weighted items. And then two that are more in development right now are Scooter, which it pulls. Scooter and Kermit are two, and they're supposed to help workers do certain things or accomplish certain repeated tasks, like moving around heavy objects or even empty objects. So Scooter is designed to move around more heavy items. As you can see right here, you can put a lot of things in there. And Kermit just takes empty totes from one place to another. But it's designed so that it relieves the work, the physical work from the worker, so that they can actually work on activities that require more critical thinking.
Yeah.
And this investment that they're putting into this is a little bit north of $300 million. And it's mainly to improve safety, but also I think it's to improve efficiency. And this isn't anything that's kind of new for Amazon, because they've done a lot of big investments into their infrastructure previously. And every time that they do something like this, the company's value just goes up, their efficiency goes up, their revenue goes up. A lot of things with these investments go up. So they bought a bunch of warehouses across America because they wanted to be able to do Amazon FBA, fulfilled by Amazon, so that people send the product to the warehouse and then they immediately fulfill it directly, so that it speeds up shipping. And then that's how they were able to deliver on the 1-day shipping or the 2-day shipping. And then they started investing into their own delivery lines and started buying. And I think they got like a very, very really great deal with UPS, where they actually invested into UPS so that they can reserve specific deals, so that if you buy your UPS shipping through Amazon FBA, it's cheaper than if you actually went to ups.com and bought whatever that shipping was for your packages. So they have a discounted deal with UPS, but then they also bought trucks for delivering. So they worked on their delivery infrastructure on top of their in-house or their warehouse infrastructure. And now the robotics that they're investing into it is also meant to increase efficiency. It's supposed to decrease any kind of hazard as much as possible, or increase the safety for the company. So it's not totally new for Amazon to be invested into their like company the way that they are, and like robotics and things like that. But it's something that they don't seem to be slowing down for. And they also have their own AI services as well, and they're using a lot of that to program these robots and the actual activities that these guys do, or these gals or whatever,
Robots.
non-binary robots. Yeah, the robots themselves. Yeah, but yeah, I thought it was pretty. I feel like everything that we talk about at this point maybe is trumped by the Facebook thing. The face. What was it called again?
Deepfakes.
The deepfakes, because that was pretty crazy.
Maybe I should have
But yeah,
saved it to
piece of
the
news.
end.
Maybe that should have been the last piece. Yeah, that should have been our closeout piece.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. We're going to make the most of our situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that this is going to help Amazon stock and go from 3,300 a share. It'll probably go to $4,000 or $5,000 a share. I'm not giving any kind of stock advice or investment advice. Just making.
Yeah. I mean, I think that Amazon is pretty. I mean, they're doing a lot to make it very easy for the employees to deliver. I mean, I was watching an interview of Jeff Bezos, I think it was in 1997 or something like that, talking about Amazon, and one of its chief focuses was the customer. And like, yeah, he just kept saying over and over again, we just want to care. We just care about the customer experience. As long as that's taken care of. And like the interview was talking about, well, like you guys are trying to come up with, you guys are going up against another big company, other big companies like book, because he was selling books at the time. He's like, yeah, you're going up to other big companies. What makes you think that you guys can do? He's like, well, all we care about is just the customer experience and making sure the customer is like taken care of.
Yeah.
And he like just kept saying that over and over again. And I think that, him like this right here, it may make the worker's job a little bit easier, but it's ultimately for the customer. Whatever he's doing is ultimately for the customer. I think that's why he's consistently able to win, over and over again. So, or he's winning big now, is because he cares about that chiefly.
Yes, it does. Okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm. So this, this isn't necessarily, the headline's not necessarily the thing I'm that interested in. Mostly it's just that, like there's a lot of like now footage of Mars, like a lot of different photos and all that stuff, different kind of thing. And it's just like this article kind of made me think of, like we're sort of one step closer to like exploration in our galaxy. And so these types of things like having images, I feel like sometimes having images and having video of our crafts on like another planet gives people a bit of a like they feel like they're living within a moment. And in the future, I feel like it's going to play a big part in the Gen Z, Gen Alpha experience of life, because of these sort of moments right here. I mean, this is a walrus. It doesn't really matter to me.
Sure.
But like, which is like having yeah, I don't know about this potential signs of ancient life or whatever, but in any case, like
fossilized walrus. Is that what like they're trying to say it is or something?
there's no way. That doesn't make any sense. But anyways, yeah. So I think it's just kind of an interesting thing because it's going to lead to something else in the near future. I mean, I think that like with Elon Musk trying to go to Mars, like trying to make sure that he gets people onto Mars. Like I feel like this is like we're in like the beginning stages of something like that grand happening. So yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, just a butt crack run. Jeff Bezos sold a consumer ticket to his trip to space.
Mm-hmm.
They auctioned it off. I think it sold for $28 million. Like at the end of the auction, that one ticket for somebody to actually go along with him and actually go with him into space. At the end of the auction, ended up selling for $28 million. I did not see the details of it. It was something that came through my timeline, and I was like, this is like freaking insane.
I mean, It's only to say that you went first, you know.
Sure, yeah.
Pretty much the only reason that, I mean, for people who've got an extra $28 million lying around, um, you could have gone first too. But I think that's sort of like, because I would say in the next 10 years, like we will be able to do that cheap, cheaply, with like
Yeah, I mean
the price of a
that's the
plane ticket or
plan.
something, like so.
Yeah.
Um,
Let's see if we can see without having to pay any of these guys. Limited free article. All these people don't want to let us consume for free. They want to sell us. Jeff Bezos, 28 million the company announced on Saturday. 20 active bidders, 4.8 million during the 10-minute auction on average.
10
Initially
minute
70.
auction. Yeah.
What's up?
10-minute auctions. Great.
10-minute auction, yeah. 20 active bidders starting at 4.8 during the 10-minute auction. Bids escalated in the final 3 minutes of the sale. Initially, around 7,600 people registered to bid from 159 countries. The winner, whose identity has not been announced, will join the Amazon founder Bezos and his brother Mark on the flight. And it's going to be an 11-minute automated flight,
Mhm.
the company's 16th, but first carrying humans. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So they've done this 16 times, but it's the first time that they're actually carrying a human because everything's been automated.
Mhm.
And the CEO of the company wants to be one of the first humans that goes. The capsule would carry as many as 6 passengers through though the company has not yet revealed who else will be on board, which I'm guessing will be actual professional astronauts that will go with them, hopefully. But yeah, this it's pretty cool. So between Virgin Galactic, Elon Musk's SpaceX, that's also partnered with NASA, and then Blue Origin, that is Jeff Bezos. I'm pretty sure within the next 5 to 10 years, let's say 15, 20 years maximum, if we want to be like really conservative, I'm pretty sure it's going to be fairly available to the rest of us consumers
to take us
to go into space.
Well, this would be
And
great
maybe
because then we may be able to put that flat Earth myth to bed.
okay, I mean, all right, okay, okay. I think it's time to move on.
Does that trigger you or something?
No, man, not at all. I'm just like, I just roll my eyes. That's basically what I hear. And the thing is, it's interesting that I don't have actual proof. I mean, but you kind of do that. But it's like whatever. It's like
You're talking about that the world is a globe. You
that
don't
the
have proof?
world is a globe, but it's like, if you fly in one direction and keep flying, you'll come out the other direction.
Mhm.
But I guess the flat earthers have a really good argument for that and a really good debate for that. So
Yeah.
I cannot speak on it authoritatively enough. Hence, I'm not, because I don't want to sound like an ignoramus.
Yeah.
Last but not least, talk to us about Mattel.
So this is just like kind of a one-off. I mean, we don't have to go really crazy into this one, but I just thought it was kind of interesting that not now Mattel is introducing their own NFTs with their the Hot Wheels cars, and some of these are some classics. I remember these when I was a kid. Actually, those cars,
Absolutely.
like the one on the right hand side and the one in the middle too.
And this one, yep.
Yeah, the one on the left I don't really remember exactly, but in any case, like it's just interesting, like that. I mean, so it's hard to think what this is going to be like, how this is going to play a big part. Well, I mean, a little bit, how this is going to play a big part in, the world in the future. Although we have talked about, NFTs being, some of the building blocks for like virtual worlds or something, so having your Hot Wheels cars going inside of your, or whatever, like, I don't know, maybe you can drive one of your Hot Wheels cars inside of your own, virtual space. But
well, so I think what is really interesting around this whole NFT topic, and it's kind of something that Gary Vee is like kind of bullish on, and Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, has also been very bullish on it as well. They're using NFTs as incentives for people to buy tickets to live events. And if you buy the NFT, and Mark Cuban was talking about, you know, if you buy a ticket to come to one of our basketball games, then you'll also get an NFT issued for that ticket, depending on which, you know, which type of seating you get or something like that. And that NFT will provide with it certain perks. And then if you choose to, you can resell the NFT, so on and so forth. So there's like I think outside of the art space and outside of using NFTs as investments or money generators for individual artists and things like that, there's a lot of big businesses, especially the event space, especially live entertainment and things like that, that are going to be pretty heavily invested into NFTs as well, and just in creating their own infrastructure around it. But the one thing that they're talking about that is still going to take some time is that immediate integration of you bought the ticket and you instantly got the NFT delivered to you. That part is still some time away based on what their conversation was. And it's takes some doing because there's the connection between these exchanges like OpenSea or something like that. And to be able to integrate OpenSea with their Ticketmaster system and say that as soon as the person buys the ticket, they instantly also get the NFT and the NFT gets delivered to them. And so shrinking that time from purchasing the ticket to getting the NFT delivered, that's the thing that they're focusing on next. And it's going to be some very interesting integrations going on, I think, in the worlds of NFT, in the same way that, you know, we talked about a couple hours ago, where it's like Venmo is now accepting trades of crypto. And so all these different payment platforms are now really going into the digital currency space. So a lot of event platforms are probably going to go into the NFT space. And the conversation about insurance companies also using smart contracts and forms of identification for you know, somebody's address, like somebody's wallet address, using that as their identification to verify and sign off on a document much faster than the 3 or 4 or 5 days or a couple of weeks sometimes that it takes to verify an insurance document and actually issue it. It can happen within a matter of hours. So that's kind of stuff that I think it's around the corner. Like you know, a lot of me myself personally, I thought that it was going to take a long time for this kind of stuff to take place, but it seems to be happening pretty quickly. So it's this time next year. I'm just curious about what's going to happen this time next year and what the world is going to be like tech wise and blockchain wise. And yeah, it's the world is changing. The conversation that I was having with Ashia yesterday was, you know, there's still the baby boomers that are alive, and then there is Gen Z and I guess Generation Alpha, which is the one that you just mentioned. And we're all living at the same time. So you have these two drastic extremes for we're super old school, we still want to do things the old fashioned way. And then the generation that's like, you know, forget all that, bring on the technology. We're born into this. I'm more than happy to do this. And it's happening at the same time. So there's like this very interesting clash that's going on. And a lot of people aren't actually really realizing how advanced this technology actually is that's accessible to us right now. And as more millennials and Gen Z and all these people get into the workforce and take positions of power and real decision-making positions, I think we'll end up seeing like some really big introductions and a lot more commercialization of all of these things that are taking place. But because of the fact that there's still so many boomers and so many Gen Xers, like the older generations that are still kind of holding on to the old ways, and they're still in positions of power right now, I think it's because of that we're not seeing all of this technology come to the surface that fast yet. But it's like maybe a year or two, and it's going to be all over the place, and everybody's going to be talking about it. And it's just, it's pretty amazing what's happening with the development of the world. It's just, yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
The
It's gonna be
the
going down.
one, yeah, the testaments to everything that we just talked about right here. That's not Tom Cruise, ladies and gentlemen. That is not Tom Cruise. All right, so
All right. So, do you want to? So, what are your? There's no. I don't think there's any questions from the audience. I don't see any.
oh, I don't have Facebook open.
I was looking at it before, and there is no questions at this time. So, what are your final thoughts about everything we talked about?
I think technology is becoming cooler and cooler, and I think it's making the world actually better and better. I know that there's a lot of people that, think that the world will end when technology gets super advanced, but I think it's only going to get better. And a few examples would be the $4,000 electric vehicle, and things like, these NFTs being accessible to people so that they can actually make money from their art in a real way.
Mm-hmm.
People to be able to start trading and mining, for just, I think technology is going to make the world a much better place, and it's going to open it up so that people can actually do some of the things that they really want to do instead of having to worry about the rat race and paying their bills, because the majority of people are like, the people are being the drones right now that are keeping a lot of these companies alive, and they're not living their actual inspired lives because they have to do these drone-like, repetitive, robotic-like jobs, and it's kind of killing their spirit. So if there's technology that's going to do that, and if there's all these actual robots and things that are going to end up doing that, then it's going to open the world up for human beings to really enjoy themselves and really enjoy their lives, and maybe even do the things that they actually want to do for a living. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I would say technology plays a big part in our lives, and it always has. Or advancements in technology, from the invention of the light bulb
The
to
printing press.
microprocessors in the neural net chip. Um, so yeah, definitely, we're living in a very interesting time. I guess a lot of people say that, though, and no matter what the time is,
Sure.
they're always thinking that they're living in a very interesting
Yeah.
time. The experience is unique, but I will say that I just feel like we're on the precipice of something that's going to explode, and I don't know exactly in what direction and in what way, but I feel like in the next like 25 years or so, something very interesting is going to be happening with the world. So yeah, just
Yeah.
excited to
And we
be.
can refer back to this video and be like, hey, we called it.
Yeah, something crazy did happen. Okay, so
Yeah, that's very detailed, right? It's like great
yeah,
detail.
Nostradamus.
Sure. Yeah.
So do you have a tip for the week? Your tip for the week?
I think the big tip, and it's just something that I'm realizing that I have to do more of, is just research and reading and learning. There's a lot, because of all of these evolutions and advancements, there's a lot more to be learned, and you'll fall behind if you're not learning, and if you're not reading, and if you're not furthering your knowledge. So it's way more than just, let me learn so I can make money. It's like, you kind of need to learn all of these things just so you can become a functional human being in the next 5 to 10 years. And if you aren't aware of all the resources that are available to you, it's almost like you're living in the caves. So I think just learn, like read as much as you possibly can. And whether it's articles or if you're a visual learner, watch YouTube videos from like really, really good channels, because there are a lot of great channels that have really great info that's backed by real research. And those types of things can make or break you in this world right now. So yeah, just learn a lot, study a lot. Yeah.
I would say my tip is but not exactly similar to that, but it's kind of along the same lines. But I think sometimes in life we have skills that are um, that we can use in another scenario. Like let's say you've got
Sure.
you've got a job where you see a problem in the world, and sometimes your skill can, even if it's unconventional, can help solve that problem. I think we're talking about. I was just thinking about how, if I was like a computer engineer or something,
Sure.
um, and I were to then like, because we got the finance side, like the insurance stuff that we're doing, and if I knew how to code stuff, then I could probably create some sort of system around that, but it is to yield a different kind of result. So, anyways, take some of the talents that you do have and start to apply it in different areas, because you may be surprised as to what comes out of just that application, and
Yeah.
some level of synthesis within that. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very cool, man.
Well, thank you so much for watching. If you are watching this later, and thank you for tuning into the show. Follow our channel so you can catch the next episode of Money Now, or any of the other cool stuff they're putting out, like something new. We just put something out, Simple Money. Check it out. It's a good show. This guy right here is the host of that show. It's very fun, simple, easy way for you to learn about finance, personal finance, business, and leadership. So
Hey.
yeah. But if you're looking for us on YouTube, search for Nahesh Agency on YouTube, or Simple Money if you'd like. And then check us out at Nahesh Agency on Facebook, and on Instagram. It's the same thing, Nahesh Agency. Yeah. Anything else?
You can also find Deji at Deji Bankole in all the social media platforms. You can find me at officially Arman on all the social media platforms. We would love to hear from you. I think feedback is a very, very big thing for us. So if you want to DM us and let us know what you think, if you want to comment below these videos or anything, feedback is always appreciated. It's very, very welcomed and encouraged. And it would mean the world to us. It's our fuel to be able to figure out how we need to navigate the future of these shows to make them customer centric, because you're the customer, and we just want to make sure that we do right by you, and we want to take care of you. So please let us know. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being here. Thank you, Mr. Deji. You're amazing with your amazing pieces of news. Okay, I'm done.
Okay. All right. Bye.